In this final demo on test data, we're going to look at how we can get NUnit to automatically generate combinations of all input data that we specify. So in this way we can very quickly create large variations in input data to make sure our code doesn't throw an exception. So here we've got this test class, memory calculator combinatorial tests. And we've just got the test method here with a couple of parameters, number to add and number to divide by. And in our test body here, we're calling the add method of our system under test, and then calling its divide method. So notice here in this test we don't have test case attributes, because we don't want to manually specify all of the different combinations of input parameters. We want NUnit to do this for us. So to do this, rather than adding additional attributes to the method itself, we're going to add attributes to the individual parameters of the method here. So the first thing we want to do is specify a number of values to be provided to the num2add parameter. To do this, we're going to use NUnit's values attribute. So here we're adding the values attribute to the actual number to add parameter. So this will provide the values 10, 20 and 30 to this num2add parameter. And we can do the same thing for the num2divide by parameter. And here we're providing the values 2, 1 and 0 to the num2divide by parameter. Unlike the test case data attribute, when NUnit sees these values, it's going to actually create 9 individual tests for it. So we'll get 10 divided by 2, 10 divided by 1, and 10 divided by 0, 20 divided by 2, 1 and 0, and 30 divided by 2, 1 and 0. So NUnit's going to create all of these different combinations of input test data and then execute our test. If we build this and head over to our memory calculator combinatorial tests, we can see we've actually got 9 tests showing up now. And we can see the combinations of input data here. 10 divided by 0 divided by 1 and divided by 2, 20 divided by 0 by 1 and 2, and 30 divided by 0, 1 and 2. So we can see a number of zeros for the divisor here, so we should get some errors for those. So let's run this now, and we can see all of the different combinations of input test data used, and those combinations that involve a divide by 0 will get the expected divide by 0 exception. If we go and change this 0 to something more sensible, so let's say 10, rebuild, notice our combinations of test data change now. We've got no divide by zeros, we've got divide by 10s instead. And we can run those, and now all our tests pass. So that's how we can use the values attribute on individual test parameters to create combinations of input test data to check that our system under test doesn't fail with various combinations of input data. It's worth pointing out here that notice we don't actually have any expected values or asserts. Because NUnit's creating all of the combinations for us, it's impossible for us to specify expected values here, because we're just going to get the combination of all values and then our system under test executed to ensure that it doesn't break and throw an exception.